fact, since July of this year, the local bank that looks after the SMEs, the Mo Bank, they've come up with 7 guidelines as such when we prepare, when you prepare a business plan. These are the elements that they would like to have in the business plan. And then all the information is there and it gets approved. It goes with different committee and you get the finance after you submit the business plan. Okay. So the first question is, what is a business plan? Anyone? Well, you already looked at. So it's a comprehensive and systematic explanation of all the phases of the proposed business for decision making. One thing I always tell my clients, I know those coming from the French system, they tend to write, the bigger. How do you say that? The bigger the document, the more confident they feel. But for us, I always say, don't, your business plan, just give what needs to be. Because what happens is, very often I've come across entrepreneurs, they've given their trade secrets, full document to the bank, and it's been rejected. A few months down the road, someone has come up with a similar. I don't know. Does it happen in your country? The same thing, right? So as I said to you, it's you bring them in those 7 points. Okay. So the primary use of the business plan is to anticipate all eventualities of a proposed business in order to minimize the probability of failure and position the enterprise in such a way to maximize success. Okay. Now, if you look at the first point, executive summary, it covers the business concept, experience and parameters, financial features, financial requirements, and the summary should be at least in 1 page. Okay? Now, the business outlook, a brief description of the business, right? And a little question: when you've prepared your business plan, do you have did you get any assistance from an accountant, or you are the one who made up the business plan yourself? And did you have your business plan vet by a professional?
For me, it was a long time. As I said earlier, the first time I wrote a business plan, I actually did not know what a business plan is. So I came up with what you may call an executive summary, and I thought that is actually a business plan. So after some time is when I realized, no, this is not easy. Then I undertook to do research and to learn. So I actually took myself to learn at 3 days strategic business planning seminar. So I'm in training. So I learned and I started now perfecting the skill. With time, I kept writing and improving, and then I was able to write a business. Yeah, so I wrote it myself.
Oh, super. And the others?
I don't have an accounting financial background, so I used a software. It's a software that said, okay, put in this value, put in how much you can spend for that, and then you can do all the financials. That's how I pretty much got to learn what the elements are for you. But then eventually learned how to do it.
So the third point is the experience and competence. That's crucial. So who's the team you're bringing in the business, and you have to elaborate what will have to be done and who will do it. What technical skills are required, and who has them. Wages to be paid. How will management responsibilities be divided, and how will the owner share the profit. Okay. The financial requirements. What I'll do, that presentation is made up of, I think, 7 or 8 slides. I've got a business plan. I think it's easier, I think it would make more sense if I show you that business plans and how every single element is in there.
I like the idea of I really like the slides and the questions, especially in the previous slide. probably, I'm sure they are on the business plan itself, but having the question guiding what should be there could be helpful, at least for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely, and I can give you a copy of the part more and the business plan as well, and definitely you can use it, to enhance your business plan. Okay. So the financial requirements, because what we tend to when we look at the figures, we tend to produce the figures over a period of 5 years. I don't know, is it the same back home when you produce your forecast? Period of 5 years. So the first 2 years you have to produce a monthly profit and loss account, and I guess it's the same thing.
I think it depends with the level of the business. If it's a startup, most of the time they want like 3 years. If it's a business that has been in existence, excuse me, they may require 1 year history and 2 years projections, or 2 years history and 3 years projections. So it depends with who you're dealing with.
And I'll show you the 5 different points. I think it's easier to explain them when we go through the Excel sheet where we have all the information up there. Okay? Now, the market strategies, that's very important. Positioning of the business, sales potential, competitive analysis, how your product be preferred over the others, design and development plan, and then you have the development of the budget, and then you have the marketing and sales. Yeah. Design and development, you have the product development, market development, organization development, and then personal breakdowns on the workforce over a period of 4 years, 5 years. And this, the second point, the last one, that's the identification of risk and its mitigation. We need to carry out a SWOT analysis, okay? And look at the competition, the marketing, the personal resources, and the management and control. Okay. Now, what I'll do, I said the business plan is a very short one, but if we go through a business plan that was prepared and approved by the local bank, that's a lady. Okay. Okay. That's a business plan for Chucky Crate Cake Company Limited. So the lady, it's a city. Okay, so the content, and we start with the executive summary, the business overview, the company overview, the experience and commercial performance, financial highlights, marketing, competitive analysis, SWOT analysis, and then you have the appendices where we show the finance position, income statement, the internal rate of return, the cash flow, the turnover details, the fixed asset expenses, and the accounts and receivable. That's a complete business plan. Yeah? And as I said to you, out of every 10 BP that's submitted to the bank is being approved, then if we don't produce those information, forget about giving the finance, to support your business. I said here, it's a cake and pastry manufacturing company. So the executive summary, that's your story, okay? And then, and I said here, everything shown is in a few lines, one page. Then you have the business overview, right? And some people would like to, mention the mission statement. I think it's crucial. So the mission of that company is to provide its customers with distinctive and highest quality cakes and pastry products that come at a fair price. Now then you have the company overview and the experience and competence of the business driver. So every single part of the business, at least here you can elaborate about the experience and what they're bringing to the business, and the financial highlights. Then you mentioned gross profit margin, and then we go down the marketing, competitive analysis, SWOT analysis. That's the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threat, and you will note a business plan it's made up of, let's say, without the figures, 8 pages. Now, if you bring in the figures, that's, I'll say to you, we look at that's the balance sheet over a period of 5 years, but for you, it's between 3 and 4 years, okay? And the term bump, that's when you produce in details, all your sales of the different products, the cost of sales, and the internal rate of return, right? And the loan as well. So if you're applying for a loan, and then because the bank what we'd like to know is when they will get paid, when the loan will be repaid. So this is shown in a cash flow, okay? And now if you're acquiring, is it equivalent fixed assets? You have to provide depreciations, and all this are linked to your statements, and any assets capitalized for your balance sheets. And then we have the expenses, in terms of the admin expenses, which includes the salary, electricity licenses, telephone, and marketing expenses, the finance costs, and the salaries, and then for some projects you have pre-operational expenses. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's what a business plan should be made up of, and a full document. If you have to produce such a document with all the information that's requested in the plan, you're bound to get some kind of finance from the bank. Okay, so when you earlier when you talked about your project, I think you need to, in a few words, how you can summarize your business plan and let them hear how much money they're putting in, and then how much revenue is going to generate over the plan. Because for them, they want is long-term commitment. It's not a question of investing my money in the business, and then in 2 years' time, you'll be doing something else. So, and I think in the business plan, when you introduce your project, you need to show the guys is here's my story, show me the money, and I'll show you the returns. Right? And you need to be confident on the figures. And that's why many people develop really super project with the figures all the time. And that's why sometimes that's what we entrepreneurs we hit the wall. It's how can we convey that message